Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your January 2021 reading. My name is Gemstone and I'll be doing your reading. These readings that I've been doing for the signs that I've completed have come out in the form of a prediction for the year. What we're going to do today is look at the energy that you're coming out of for the last 365 days and the energy that you're moving into. Now, we are all understanding that, or let me state it like this. I'm aware that time is a limitation. It is an illusion within this three-dimensional realm, but it is something used to create some form of structure. So what we're going to do is just observe the last 365 days through reflection and see the energy that you're coming out of, as well as the energy that you're moving into. We're using the energy that you're coming out of as a moment to reflect and see if you have found some healing in what it is that you've experienced, so that you're able to transmute or transform that energy into something more worthwhile and in alignment with where you're trying to go or how you want to feel. So what we're going to do is get a tarot card and two different oracle cards. This is going to give you the overall feeling. One's going to give you an emotional feeling and the other a spiritual feeling for the energy you're coming out of, and the same for the energy that you're moving into. Now, down in the description box below, I'm holding information that I've gotten in the form of a horoscope. I'm writing it in a horoscope format from the meditative session that I did before this reading to connect with your energy. If at any point those readings collide and correlate to one another, I will definitely mention it here. What I do is connect with your energy, have tarot cards, receive downloads as well as information, and I write that in the form of a horoscope. Also, if you haven't watched your December 2020 reading and you would like to, I'm going to put a card at 2 minutes at the top of the video so that you have that prompt to do so. But without further ado, let's get into the energy that you're coming out of. Let's start your reading. Although your reading technically has already started from that premeditation. What energy is Sagittarius coming out of? All messages are for the highest good of Sagittarius. What energy are they coming out of? I'm going to take that as the 10 of Pentacles. Interesting. Interesting. And at the bottom, we have the Ace of Cups. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So what I feel actually is abundance with this. I feel abundance with this. Now, everything has a high side and a low side, or a high vibe and a low vibe. That creates the wholeness that it is. So the vibe that I'm feeling is more abundant versus the opposite, which is more scarce. The feeling of you hanging on and doing all that you can to manifest things. I feel like manifesting was quite easy for you this year, actually. I feel like this was a good year for you in terms of you cultivating some form of self-love with this card, some form of love. And then through that, abundance in the external world. Let's get emotionally, what energy you're coming out of. Emotionally, what energy is Sagittarius coming out of? But physically, trust. I accept, and then failure at the bottom. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. That's wonderful. I feel like with this card here, it's like the connecting with your inner self. The connecting with you. Building a relationship with yourself. At the bottom of the deck, we have failure. And failure says, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So this goes to the other side. Interesting. So we have two different vibes right now. We have the vibe of one side getting to know themselves, building love for themselves. And then we have the other side experiencing the opposite, where they're trying to hold on to trying to create manifestations, like trying to manifest and things not going in their way, and seeing opportunities that didn't turn out the way that they wanted as failures and possibly beating. I'm feeling the energy of just a low vibe. A low vibe. Now it's expanding. The it that's expanding is the feeling towards this card. But it still feels predominantly abundant. But I'm feeling the two different Sagittarius energies now. and to that low vibe, to the lower vibe. And I say this, just the heavier side of it. Trusting yourself was challenging this year for a segment of Sagittarius, and failure was the result of that. And the definition of those experiences as failure is your definition. It feels like a failure. And to the other side, it feels like a lesson to those who have found a connection with themselves and feel more abundant. It feels like a lesson. Interesting. What energy are we coming out of spiritually for Sagittarius? What energy is Sagittarius? 2 green cards. What energy is Sagittarius coming out of spiritually? Miracle, 33. Miracle reads, the frequency of miracles supports our belief in ourselves as a part of source, and therefore our belief that anything is possible. So this is giving me more of the opposite vibe. Energy is so interesting. It's like you can feel one thing and then feel another thing. So the vibe that I'm feeling now is more equal, where there's this one side that's feeling more abundant, more trusting, more connected to themselves, more connected to their purpose as well as the outside world. I'm imagining, like, what I'm seeing is you walking down the street and smiling at others and people smiling at you. And then on the other side, I'm feeling the energy of rain clouds and sadness and stuck in bed and not doing laundry and not showering and just having more of the opposite experience where things are more heavy and things are more dreary. What we're going to do is go into this book that came with the deck. It's the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle deck. We're going to do the exercise that it has. I found it to be quite helpful it's the try this section for introspection. So here we go. Sagittarius, try this. Do you believe in miracles? Have you experienced anything that was miraculous? What miracles do you want to happen in your life? What are you doing to make them happen? Do you realize that life is full of miracles, including every child that is born, every breath we take, every flower that blooms? Can you think of 5 miracles that you experienced every day? Can you think of 5 miracles that you experience every day? So this feels like the energy of the lower side, of the heavier side of Sagittariuses that are experiencing, look at that. Yeah, just this heavy feeling. It feels weighed down. It feels not abundant. The Devil card is a good depiction of that energy. But instead of being bound to someone else, it's like you're bound to the earth. You're bound to a heavier vibe. It feels just like a low frequency, not the earth. But I said the earth because if we look at the earth as the base and then we ascend off of it, it just feels like a very low vibe. That's what it feels like. All right, let's get the energy that you're moving into, Sag. What energy is Sagittarius? That's too many cards. What energy is Sagittarius moving into? What energy is Sagittarius? This card's calling me. The Queen of Wands. Oh, that feels good. And I feel this for those that are feeling kind of stuck. There's going to be movement forward. So this period of stillness, for anyone that's experiencing a lack of motivation, lack of connection, feelings of low self-esteem, low worth, no value, it just feels low to the ground. This time feels like the opportunity for you to get into yourself and connect with yourself and experience the Ace of Cups that was at the bottom of this deck initially. For you to get to that experience. It's never too late. It feels like that is going to get you into the feelings of seeing yourself as worthy, seeing yourself as capable, growing the confidence seed that you have planted in you, growing that seed so that it can blossom into something that will lead you to taking action, being seen, making plans and executing them. This feels more like the making of plans, though. Like internally making those plans. You know what this feels like? The end of procrastination. That's what this feels like. You getting the energy and drive to do what it is that you need to do for yourself. Just, okay, I'll do it. Instead of, I'll do it tomorrow. All right, Sag. Let's get the energy. Whoa. Let's get the energy that you're moving into. What energy is Sagittarius moving into? What energy is Sagittarius moving into? All messages are for the highest good of Sagittarius. What energy are they moving into? Adversity. It says, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. Whew, yep, this feels like the low, those experiencing the low vibe, they're getting an opportunity to come up. Oh, so we had failure at the bottom of the deck, and now we have success at the bottom. This is lovely. Huh. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. What a 180. Doing these readings in this format, it's just showing for many of the signs it has a similar effect where the energy is in its opposite end and it transmutes into a higher vibe. All right. What energy spiritually are they moving into? This feels like it's going to provide you the drive to get up these hills. If adversity is the hill, this is the engine. It's the fire within the engine, let me say. You are the engine. This is the fire within the engine. At the bottom of the deck, we have transition, so moving from one state to another. And then the card that we got was allowance. It reads, the frequency of allowance invites us to open to whatever comes our way, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. This feels so bright. Oh, good. Let's read the try this. Hi, Sag. Our video got cut off in the weirdest way. This is the second time this has happened, where music starts playing. It's just the weirdest experience, and I didn't touch anything for that to happen. So anyway, very strange. It has happened again. It's scary every time it happens. I'm gonna try to fit this into this video. If you're watching this, then I succeeded. All right, so we're gonna read the try this for allowance. Allowance reads, try this. Go inside yourself and reflect for a moment on your life. What stands out in this instant? Can you appreciate whatever the universe is bringing to you? Can you recognize the gifts that all experience holds, even the ones you perceive as being negative? Can you be excited about the valuable lessons these experiences bring and bring and celebrate them? So can you be excited about the valuable lessons these experiences bring and celebrate them? It feels like lessons, that word again, lessons. To look at the past as lessons as opposed to failures for those that are feeling low and heavy. To look at those experiences as experiences that needed to happen so that you could learn. They were lessons. And then to look at what you're moving into, the new challenges that you're experiencing, again, more lessons. Adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. This is an opportunity for you to learn. It feels like a training ground is what just came to mind. This feels great. And for those that are still in that abundant energy, this is just going to add to it. But specifically to those feeling kind of heavy, your failure is going to turn into success from your perception. But if I'm going to just go there for a moment, failure and success are one and the same. So to recognize the lesson in both of them so that you don't go back and forth on the extreme of failure, success, where you can, experience the reality that they are lessons no matter what. Failure, lesson. Success, lesson. They're all lessons and experiences for you to experience. The wanderlust of the zodiac, Sagittarius, this is an opportunity for you to experience something new. All right, I'm going to leave it here. And I'm going to find a way to attach those 2 videos. A person that knows editing will be like, oh yeah, you just have to edit it. Yeah, I guess I'm going to learn how to do that today. Anyways, Sag, I'm going to leave it here. As I mentioned, what you can look forward to mid-January is a love reading in this format, looking at the energy that you're coming out of and the energy that you're moving into. And then February, we'll get back into the flow of a more detailed tarot reading. But yeah, this felt good to do in terms of it being a short message so that it could be something that you can have at the back of your mind as the year progresses. We have adversity. This feels like opportunities for you to express, opportunities for you to connect with your fire inside and use it to get what it is that you want. It's like, how bad do you want whatever it is? How bad do you want it? That's what this card feels like. So we have adversity. We have your inner drive lit with the Queen of Wands. And then we have allowance. All right, we're going to leave it here. And I will see you in the next video. All right, later, Sagittarius.